Hare Krishna. We are going to study the verse number 12 of the 4th chapter of Bhagwat Gita as it is. In today's verse, we will come to know that why the majority of people worship the demigods and goddesses, and very rare do we find a true devotee of Krishna. Please watch the video till the end. It's going to be a life-transforming experience for us. Now let's start by first chanting the verse number 12. Kangshatah karmadam siddhi yajanta iha devatah chipram hi manushe loke siddhi bhavati karmaja कांक्षन्तः कर्मणां सिद्धिः यजन्त इह देवताः क्षिप्रं हि मानुषे लोके सिद्धिः भवति कर्मजा. कांक्षन्तः desiring, karmanam of fructive activities, siddhim perfection, yajante worship by sacrifices, iha in the material world, devataha the demigods, chipram very quickly, he certainly, manusha in human society, loke within this world, siddhi bhavati becomes successful, karmaja the fructive worker. Krishna says that men in this world desire success in fructive activities and therefore they worship the demigods. Quickly, of course, men get results from fructive work in this world. Krishna is saying, Kangshantah karmanam siddhi yajanta iha devata. Men in this world desire success in their fructive activities. Therefore, they worship the demigods. Yajanta iha devatah. And then Krishna says, Chipram hi manushe loke, siddhihi bhavati karmaja. Quickly, men get the results from fructive works in this world. This is what Krishna is saying. And it's very true that when people worship the demigods, they quickly get the result of their activities. Here we need to think that they do get the results very quickly of their acts. But what happens to the things that they get? Does it give them permanent happiness? We will come to know the answers of these questions by reading the purport of Srila Prabhupada. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Anant Koti Vaishnavon ki jai. Srila Prabhupada says that there is a great misconception about the gods or demigods of this material world and men of less intelligence. Though they may be great scholars, they take these demigods to be the various forms of the Supreme Lord. Prabhupada says that actually the demigods are not different forms of God, but they are gods, different parts and parcel. God is one, and the parts and parcels are many. The Vedas say, Nityo Nityanam, God is one. Ishwaraha Paramaha Krishna. The Supreme God is one, and that is Krishna. And the demigods are the delegated agents. They are the appointed higher authorities with the power to manage this material world. These demigods are all living entities, Nityanam, with different grades of material power. They cannot be equal to the Supreme God, Narayana, Vishnu or Krishna. And anyone who thinks that God and the demigods are on the same level is called an atheist or Pashandi. Srila Prabhupada says that even the great demigods like Brahmaji and Shivji cannot be compared to the Supreme Lord. In fact, the Lord is worshipped by the demigods such as Brahmaji and Shiva. Yet, curiously enough, there are many human leaders who are worshipped for little gains in this material world. Prabhupada says that Narayana, Vishnu, or Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, does not belong to this world. He is above all this material creation. Even Sripad Shankaracharya, the leader of the impersonalist, even he declares that Narayana or Krishna is beyond this material creation. So when people worship the demigods or the powerful people of this material world just for the sake of getting some material gains, their intelligence needs to be questioned. These people are known as less intelligent or unintelligent people. The intelligent people are in Krishna consciousness and they need not worship any demigods or any powerful person for temporary benefits. The demigods of this material world will vanish with the annihilation of this material world. Srila Prabhupada clearly says that from ant to the great Brahmaji, everything is temporary and everything will get lost and destroyed by the passage of time. Undoubtedly, Brahmaji is the greatest, but still he is not permanent. And the boons of the demigods are material and temporary. So both the material worlds and their inhabitants, including the demigods and their worshippers, are like the bubbles in the ocean. Srila Prabhupada clearly says, as there are countless bubbles and these bubbles evaporate or they disappear off and on, similarly these material creation and all the powerful people and the demigods will also disappear with the passage of time and nothing will remain permanent excepting Krishna. In this world, however, the human society is mad after temporary things such as material opulences, of possessing land, family, and enjoyable things. And to achieve such temporary things, people worship the demigods or powerful men in human society. Prabhupada says that if a man gets some ministership in the government by worshipping a political leader, then he starts considering that political leader to be God and he thinks that he has got the greatest boon. And all of them are therefore kowtowing to the so-called leaders or big guns in order to achieve temporary boons. And they indeed achieve such things. Prabhupada says that in front of such leaders and powerful people, people surrender just because they are getting some temporary gains. And such foolish men are not interested into Krishna consciousness for the permanent solution of all the hardships in the material existence. They are all after sense enjoyment, temporary enjoyment, and to get a little facility for these sense enjoyment, they are attracted to worship the empowered living entities known as demigods. Prabhupada says that this particular verse, this shloka indicates that people are rarely interested in Krishna consciousness and they are mostly interested in the material enjoyment and therefore they worship the powerful people and they worship the demigods and goddesses who are undoubtedly the most powerful amongst the living entities. Srila Prabhupada says that the people who worship the demigods and goddesses are the ones who are too much attracted and attached with the material things and people, and they want to accumulate the material things thinking that these things are going to give them permanent happiness. Srila Prabhupada says that Lord Shiva and Goddess Durga are the highest amongst all the demigods and goddesses. Lord Shiva's position is higher than Brahmaji, and Goddess Durga is the external power of Krishna, that is the Shakti of the Supreme Lord. Prabhupada says that when the devotees of Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, and Goddess Durga could not be in the world permanently, then what to talk about the devotees of other demigods and the so-called powerful people of this material world. Ravana was a great devotee of Lord Shiva, but he was killed by Lord Rama. Then Hiranyakashipu got the boon from Lord Brahma that he will not be killed in the daytime or in the night time. No human or animal can kill him. No weapon can kill him. And he will not get killed inside the house or outside the house. So this way Hiranyakashipu secured himself fully well. But Lord Krishna appeared as Narasimha and appeared as a half man and half lion form. He made Hiranyakashipu lie on his lap and tore his stomach with his claws. Similarly, Kans was a great devotee of Goddess Durga, but he was killed by Krishna. By all these examples, Srila Prabhupada is telling all of us that when the devotees of such great demigods and goddesses like Lord Shiva, Brahma and Durgaji could not escape from the hands of death and destruction, then how can people think that by taking the shelter of some powerful people of this material world, they can get permanent happiness? This is known as being less intelligent or unintelligent people. Srila Prabhupada very clearly says that only the less intelligent people worship the demigods, goddesses, and the powerful and rich people of this world because they want the fruits of their work, and that too they want it very quickly. Prabhupada says that in today's world, everybody wants everything quickly. And this is why there is instant food everywhere, like Maggi and fast food. And people order it from the hotels. Very few are interested in cooking home food. Majority of people want to have bought out food. And the reason behind it is this, that people do not want to work hard and devote time, but instead they want quick results. Srila Prabhupada says that these people are so less intelligent that they are hankering and running behind those things and people whom they will not be able to carry with them after the end of their present body. But they are working very hard and worshipping the demigods, goddesses, and even the powerful and rich people of this material world so that they can get money, power, good house, good partner, good children to enjoy this temporary material world. Prabhupada says that a true Krishna devotee will never worship any demigod, goddesses, or any rich and powerful person of this material world because he never desires for anything or any person of this material world because he knows fully well that everything is temporary in this material world. But to find such a devotee is very rare. Prabhupada clearly says that Krishna Bhakti needs tolerance, faith, and patience. But the result is absolutely sure, that is liberation from all kinds of desires of accumulating worldly things and people. And to reach to this point, one needs to be firm in Krishna Bhakti. We have the example of Dhruv Maharaj. Dhruv Maharaj wanted to sit on the lap of his father Udan Patra, but his second mother Suruchi refused him. So baby Dhruv, by the advice of his mother Suniti, went to the forest and started chanting Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Namaha mantra given by Narad Muni. In 6 months, Krishna appeared in front of him and wanted to give Dhruv whatever he wanted. But Dhruva said that he doesn't want anything after seeing Krishna. For Dhruv, everything became like pieces of glass in front of Krishna, who is the real diamond. This is why Dhruv Maharaj did not wish to ask anything from Krishna, because after getting Krishna, a person becomes fully satisfied and there is no more desire left to have the temporary things of this temporary world. Since Dhruv Maharaj had earlier desired to have higher place than his grandfather Bali Maharaj, so Krishna gave him Dhruv Lok, which is still there. So we see that when Krishna gives anything, it is permanent, and when given by the demigods, it is not permanent, because neither the world is permanent nor the demigods. Demigods are much more higher than us, but they are also not permanent. Srila Prabhupada explains that when one does Krishna Bhakti, the person becomes satisfied from inside and doesn't require any external things to make him happy. It happens so because Krishna purifies the heart of the devotee first and removes all kinds of material desires. This process takes some time, but the result is permanent. In the previous verse, Krishna said, Ye yathamam prapadyante tans tathaiv bhajamyaham. Krishna is saying that I reward the people in accordance to their level of surrendership. So it's very clear that if someone wants worldly things like good job, promotion, good family life, etc., etc., and that too quickly, so they worship the demigods and get quickly. But all these things are temporary. So the people who are working day and night for these things are less intelligent or unintelligent people. And in contrary to these people, the people who are the devotees of Krishna, who spend their entire time in reading Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and do everything for the pleasure of Krishna, they gradually become purified from inside and become so satisfied with whatever they have in this material life to keep their body and soul together. And for these kind of devotees, Krishna says that surely come to my Golok Vrindavan Dham after leaving their present body and will never return in this temporary material world. Now, we have clearly understood the difference between worshipping the demigods and worshipping Krishna. And in today's shlok, we have understood about the people who worship demigods because they want material things like good job, good family life, good house, comforts of life, etc., etc. But they don't realize that everything and person is temporary in this material world, and they will not be able to take anything or any person with them after the death of their body. So this is not very intelligent of them to have spent their entire life and not being able to take with them anything. Our dearest Guru Srila Prabhupada has given us the most easiest way to become Krishna devotee, just by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra and by doing everything only and only for the pleasure of the most beautiful, loving Krishna, who is the most attractive. And when Krishna becomes happy, we also become happy as we are his part and parcel. So from now, We need not worship any demigods or any powerful or rich person for any temporary material gains. Rather, we should pray to the demigods to give us Krishna Bhakti and make our rare human life successful. Now we shall meet the next week and shall come to know about how the material creation was created and what rules were made for the proper functioning of the entire society. I pay my Dandavat obeisance to Srila Prabhupada and my Shiksha Guru, His Grace Hari Mohan Prabhuji. I thank each one of you from the bottom of my heart for listening to the Bhagavad Gita shlokas so regularly and attentively. Please do write your understanding in the comment box as it helps others. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Anant Koti Vaishnavo ki jai. Keep chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra and be happy. Hare Krishna.